Yo, what's up guys? It's Pygoz here, the Crypto Pie, and today we're going to be talking about something totally different, guys. We're going to talk about the stock market, alright? So we're looking at the S&P 500 here on the weekly chart. Actually, we should zoom out first to the monthly, guys, to see what's actually going on here. Yeah, we're just going to talk about the stock market because people have requested me to, alright? So, zooming out here. Right, you can see well, there was not much going on here in the 1979, but basically it's just one big uptrend, right? So, okay, so, but you do see we do get back to the 200 EMA, right? That's the first thing I just see. Like that's the red line here, guys. So we do get back there. So if we only get back there, then it means the stock market needs to go down to about 1682. Okay, so that is the only thing I'm looking at right now. That's the first thing I see on the monthly only, right? So that is still a drop of 32%. Okay, we also see immediately that it does go down even lower than the 200 EMA. This one went lower, right? So this one actually went lower by about 20%, and over here as well. Well, actually about 30%. So let's say about 25% lower than that, right? So that gets you to that's the average, right? That's about 1248. Okay, so that's the first thing we see here immediately. Okay, so another thing that we can see here on the monthly chart is basically you had this top here, right? And then you got a top that was even higher, but on our side it was way lower. Right, that was your first indication of a true bear market starting. Okay, that is just RSI bearish divergence, and I mean, you know, I don't want to be just super bearish, but guys, it happens. Okay, so back in 2007, we were up here, right, and we fell down a good 56%. Okay, and that was in the time span of about 518 days. So, you know, it's longer than a year, guys. Okay, we're going down longer than a year. It only just started. Okay, so we're just going to put some things into perspective here. So price and range, right? So we're just going to look at. We also had one here. So this one is kind of like. I'd say the downforce here 719 days, so that's one possibility. We had one over here. How long was this one? This one was about 518 days, like I said before. Okay, so just looking at this, right, so that is kind of the two recent ones. Okay, so we have some data here to go by. We can put more on the chart here, obviously. We had one here as well. That went down to right here. 638 days. So the 518 was definitely a short one. And before that was not much volume, so I'm not even going to compare. So we had our first real crash in 2001. Then we had a bull market after that since like it started basically in 2002 all the way to 2000 and what's this? No, that's not 2000. Never mind, guys. This is 1973. Okay, and then we crashed to 1974, and then we had our bull market all the way to 2000. Oh, that's actually a really long bull market, guys. All right, so and then we crashed again, right into 2003. We were all the way to about 2007, so only a 4-year bull market, just a quick one. Then we crashed again. You know, the big crash that we all know in 2008. We crashed, you know. And then in 2009 till now, so 2018, right? That is our bull market, 9 years. Okay, so it's not weird for me to assume that we will drop down here. Okay, right now we're holding at the 55 EMA. If we can hold there, we might even be able to go higher. It's not uncommon, and we need to also know that. You know, it happened here. It happened before, right? So we do have to look at that. But if we crush through here, then I do see us even going down here. Okay, so and then if we just look at very simple support resistance lines, is you know, I'll just plot it down here. So this is the cool thing about stocks, guys. You have so much data, so you can just go by, you know, simple support resistance, right? So and that also gets us to about 1528, maybe a little higher, right? Because the 200 EMA is here, but probably we'll test it. We will probably test it, right? So that's very normal for it to happen, right? Now what we can do is we can also throw a fib on here, you know, Fibonacci, right? We'll just take a look, and that's also the 618 right on the dot, guys. Right, so the 618 is not uncommon for us to hit at all, which is at 1531, right? With the fib that I've drawn right now. Okay, so knowing all this information, we're just going to project this out. All right, so I'm just gonna take this one. We'll pretend it's gonna be a steep sell-off. And I'm just going to copy this, and I'll put it on here. And that gets us to the 0.5. Actually, this is not even that bad. A 35% drawdown would get us to about 1892. But I think it could actually get worse. So, but this is your first, you know, this is just projected out from here, right? So I think it's best to just look at the fibs and look at these levels. Okay, 38.2 is obviously, we have support here at 2064 for the S&P 500. The 0.5, we also have some support here because you saw bounces here at 1798. But the real support comes in here, right? You can see it, guys. You had tops here, so definitely real support at the 618 at 1531. Okay, so if you take a look at that, that is still a fall further of 37%. 37%, guys, that is for the entire stock market, right? This is looking at the S&P 500. If I look at individual stocks like Apple, which we will be doing a little later on, I'll show you that Apple is not looking good either, right? So, so this is the monthly, guys, right? So let's take a look at the weekly now, okay? So the weekly just crossed bearish. The 21 EMA, the white line, the orange one is the 55 EMA. Alright, crossing bearish here. We have the 200 EMA, we're bouncing off it right now on the weekly, but a very weak bounce and already getting rejection, right, to the downside again. So, you know, once again, I just cannot see it going different than just going down still, right? Your first indication that it's not going down anymore is if we look on the daily, right? We cross down here everywhere, and if we get some kind of cross upwards, we won't be seeing that for a while, I think, because the crash only really just started, and I can see 2019 is going to be a horrible year for the US stock market. This is just the US stock market. The Chinese is not looking that bad, and neither is the Europe will probably follow. As for Asia, I'm not sure. You know, it just looks all a little bit different. So yeah, so this one 236 probably getting down to, yeah, you know, these levels are important, guys. All right, so that is enough for the SPX, for the S&P 500. You know my levels now. You know I'm bearish. I mean, you just gotta be bearish right now, right? The way you see this. All right, so obviously with Bitcoin I was in denial because it was my first bear market, but knowing how a bear market looks now, I'm very well aware that this is a bear market, guys. All right, so here you had your big RSI divergence, right? Very simple to see, right? Boom, and like look at here, right? On the weekly it's so easy to see. Okay, that's huge bearish divergence, and after that you got your big downfall. So that's kind of where we're going right now, and I expect it to come slowly down here maybe we'll bounce off here. Okay, it's a possibility. But now we're going to look at Apple. Alright, so we take Apple, the biggest stock, guys. Alright, so the weekly is actually under the 200 EMA. Okay, so look at the monthly here. Alright, so monthly is not looking too good either, with the 200 EMAs at $77. Alright, so that is still a drop of 40% lower, okay, for Apple. And guys, that's not bad, okay? Look at that. Look at how crazy Apple has just gone up since 1997, right? It's just how it is, okay? So, and if we just take a fib swing, right, from this low to this high here, basically we went to the 886. This is a reload zone, okay? So if we actually get a 886 on Apple, yeah, go up here. That's a $27. But I do expect a bounce at 90. Alright, for the 618 here. So just wait patiently, guys, on Apple. Probably be nice to get some stock around here. 618, also 200 EMA. I do expect a bounce. Alright, that is kind of how I see it on Apple. Weekly is obviously a little different here. You have your swings, right? If you take like this low and you take this high, right? You see we went back to the 0.5, then we went up again, you know, -236, a good selling point, and then, you know, you got your next swing again. Okay, so boom, boom, and we went to the 0.5 once again. So there you go, right? And then if you would do that right now, then people would already be like, hey, wait, no bounce at 0.5, no bounce at 618. That's because our whole wave is done. Okay, guys. So that's kind of how I see it. Okay. So now, if you look at the from an Elliott point, right? Then, you know, if you take this swing, 618 there, right? So, and if you take this as an entire swing, that's also a possibility, right? 96. 58, something like that, right? Because then you could start counting, right? We could start counting here on Apple, right? Whether this is our 1, this is our 2, then this is our 3. We're gonna get a 4 somewhere. We're still gonna get a 5, right? Very simple. That is kind of how I see it on Apple. But guys, remember monthly, right? Monthly needs to get back to 200 EMA, so around $78. Okay, guys, and that's kind of where I'll leave it at. So if this is your 1, this is your 2, like we said before, then we're gonna look for a, you know, this is your big 3. In your 3, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So we're simply looking for a 618, right? $90, around $90, right? That's where I call it for Apple. So guys, this is how I see the stock market, and of course I went over Apple because it's the biggest stock, and you know, it all follows Apple, right? So that's kind of where we're at, all right? Just looking at the weekly and the monthly charts, because we have so much data, it's the best ones to look at, right? So that is just my short video on the stock market. Obviously I don't trade the stock market, guys, so but it's just based on a chart perspective, right? So yeah, big crisis incoming, guys, big crisis incoming, and just wait patiently until you see Apple stock at around $90, and we might see a reversal there. All right, so that is that, guys. Also, I have a Patreon page, which is patreon.com/Pygoz. You can check it out for yourself, check out which tier fits you, and become a Patreon yourself. All right. Also, guys, join up with the CryptoPies blog, where you can ask me any question, ask other people questions, and it's just a great chat box to be in, right? Let's see what's going on here. Obviously, everyone's talking about Ethereum hard fork, etc., because that's something that's coming. So, yeah, if you're holding Ethereum, you will get some hard fork Ethereum, but I don't really care about that. I just care about trading it, guys. So that is what I'm doing, right? So yeah, join up with that, guys. Also join up with the CryptoPies feed, where I post all my videos, post about upcoming ICOs and STOs, of course, that are coming in 2019. But at the moment, guys, we're still bearish, so don't expect any of it from me, alright? Also follow me on Twitter, which is twitter.com/Pygoz, and follow me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Pygoz. Both telegrams will be in the description below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, hit that post notification button, and if you got any questions at all, leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.